Some people wake up at the same time every morning, get the same order of coffee from the same place during their drive, arrive to the cubicle that has looked the same for as long as they can remember, and perform the same mundane job from 8 to 6 every day. Whitney Sullivan decided to be different when she became a drama therapist, a job that brings new challenges and adventures every day.
My name is Whitney Sullivan. I'm 32. I live in Chicago in the Albany Park neighborhood.
Sullivan combined her love of the arts and serving those in need when she earned a master's in social work in 2009. Along the way, she found a source of inspiration.
Well, I started out as a double major in theater and music, and then I transferred to Columbia College Chicago, and I pursued a degree in musical theater. And it was during that training that I met Ted Rubenstein, who is the previous clinical director here at the Music Institute of Chicago's Institute for Therapy Through the Arts. And Ted came in and introduced drama therapy, and I fell in love with the idea at that time, and I thought, okay, this totally makes sense. I want to use theater and I want to help people. So at that point I changed my major to interdisciplinary studies, and then I decided to do my master's in social work.
Thrilled to have discovered her passion, Sullivan ventured to the Midwest to study drama therapy specifically.
I did my training through Kansas State University, and every summer for about 5 years I would travel to Kansas State and take these intensives. So one intensive was in psychodrama, one intensive was an intro to drama therapy, one intensive was a survey course of the creative arts therapies. You have to take a class in special populations. So there's all types of coursework that is required. And then an internship or a practicum. And so I was able to find a placement that had both a clinical social worker and a registered drama therapist at the same place. That was at a psychiatric hospital here in Chicago. And so I sort of did a hybrid practicum of social work and drama therapy.
We met Sullivan at the Music Institute of Chicago's branch known as the Institute of Therapy Through the Arts, a unique center.
It's really one of its kind, especially in the Midwest. I work with adults, adolescents, and children, primarily people who are struggling with mood or anxiety or different pervasive developmental disorders like autism spectrum disorders, things like that. We serve a mix of individuals, young and old.
Although Sullivan's career with the Institute is unique in many aspects, she does stick to a structured therapy session to ensure a successful 55 minutes.
A typical drama therapy session begins with a check-in and then a warm-up. So we usually do some type of sound and movement warm-up, and then there's the bulk of the intervention of that day. And then we will improvise for a while, or sometimes I use elements from playback theater. We embody different types of roles, different types of scenarios. In drama therapy, we're very mindful of this can be really difficult because clients are sometimes, we're bringing in what we call persona or surface play. So we're playing roles and characters that are very different than ourselves. But at other times, clients bring in material that's very close to real life. So you're really playing yourself. And so we want to make sure to de-roll or cool down, if you will. And I usually end with some type of verbal process or reflection on what just happened.
A session can include a whirlwind of emotion, but Sullivan has noticed that all patients have similar struggles.
I found that the hardest part is sometimes making the bridge between the cognitive and verbal processing to play. So I think sometimes the warming up and the getting into role is harder. Sometimes the getting out of role can feel like, okay, I'm glad that's over, or wow, that was really fun. I want to talk about it. I want to, wow, I like surprised myself that I was able to do that, or that I got into that, or so I think the beginning part is trickier. The making sure that there's adequate warm up.
Therapy sessions are typically portrayed as a formal conference between two individuals sitting across from each other, but drama therapy is ideal for patients who prefer to express themselves creatively.
Sometimes I think clients need a projective object or a third thing in the room, if you will, to help diffuse the transference or help the engagement process.
Children are often told how to act and what to do by their parents, but drama therapy gives them a chance to be independent.
I think a lot of times children in particular, they don't have many areas in their life where they're the boss or where they can be in control or where they feel really seen. And so, one of the goals that we have is to provide adequate structure and relational opportunities for the child then to start to internalize some of those controls and build self-esteem to then feel better about themselves. I think I just feel really, really fortunate to be practicing as a drama therapist.
Sullivan is not always the first person to recognize progress in a child resulting from drama therapy's uniqueness. In fact, the child's parents can immediately notice success.
Parents celebrate that, and really are more on the same page. When other types of therapy haven't worked, like say a child was not willing to engage in a traditional talk therapy approach, and then they come here and they see their child really thriving in one of the creative modalities, I think that feels really good to parents.
Sullivan's patients are not the only ones who get satisfaction from a fulfilling drama therapy session.
I do think it's particularly rewarding to see clients make discoveries in the session. So clients who, just to see that transformation that can occur in 55 minutes between resistance to not wanting to come to therapy. I'm thinking of an adolescent client, not wanting to come, feeling like, I'd rather be home playing video games, and then seeing the client really get into a role or really have fun.
Drama therapy accommodates a certain type of child, and for children with disabilities, Sullivan's help is most beneficial.
How I understand it is sometimes children with autism can become very rigid and very concrete in their routines. And so when you have a therapist, let's say a drama therapist, who can become the play object or who can tolerate that rigidity, sometimes that's the therapist's way of saying, I really get it, and I'm not just telling you I get it, I'm showing you I get it.
Sullivan's practice as a drama therapist is more than just a job. It's her passion.
I'm grateful that ITA exists, that I can still have a part-time job. I do have a part-time job as a family therapist, working for a different organization, but that I can still keep one foot in the drama therapy well, which is really where my heart is. And when words are not enough, the arts can often help.